Ain't got no money. I got no car to take you on a date. I can't even buy you flowers. But together we'll be the perfect soulmates. So let me go. Baby, it's alright now, you got a flaw for me. If we go dirt, you can still touch my love, it's free. We can work without the perks, just you and me. Dug it out till we get it right. Baby, if you strip, you can get a tip. Yeah, you are.
Green light, go, go, go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to CRL for round 4. Or round. Let me restart the intro as I messed up completely there. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to round 5 for Laguna Seca here in America. My name is Jamie Morris and I'll be your commentator for you for this 15-minute qualified session and the race as well, the hour race that we've got underway. We are here in Laguna Seca, which is one of the most favourite tracks by people. It is very nice to drive indeed, but very difficult as well. You've got the corkscrew and you've got the fast left-hander going downhill into turn 9 and turn 10. I believe there's 11 corners on the circuit, so not many corners, but there's still very difficult indeed. So let's see how these drivers manage it here. We can see that Christian Chamo is now making his way through, I think, turn 5 it is, as he makes his way now up towards the highest point of the track, the high elevation zone around here, coming towards the corkscrew. Now we've seen plenty of battles this part of the track. I'm talking about MotoGP because MotoGP used to race around here, of course, until 2013, where Marc Marquez was the last rider who took the win. And yeah, it's always been a good track for battling in those categories. But in terms of sports cars, I think Sebastian Buemi was one of the drivers that took the pole lap around here. I think it was the fastest lap record around here, a 1 minute 12.4, I believe. But we haven't seen those lap times come from these cars because they're a bit slow. I think we've seen the 121s and the 122s then. So I think Christian Chama now is making his way downhill into turn 1, coming towards the Andretti chicane, or hairpin, sorry, as it's essentially a double left-hander we go as he rounds the corner. On the power again, on the dirt just a bit as we make our way now towards turn 3 we go. And let's see how it takes it there. Off board, of course, because on board it can be a bit difficult to try and find the drivers, of course. And the controls of the spectator mode is not where I want it to be. So that's why we are off board all the time. And if you want to change that, then just tell me about it as we go down into turn 4, I believe it is, or turn 5, as we make our way now up towards the highest point of the circuit, the elevation change going up towards 55 metres, as I think it is. That's the wrong corner, so that's turn 6. So we're just a corner away as he uses all the track there on the right hand side, as you want to do on camber corners, of course. So very easy to control the car, especially uphill. Now we're dropping down towards the corkscrew we go. I think we're going to see plenty of people make mistakes here. I think Alcon in P4, who made a mistake there in practice when we went on board with Ewan Small. Ewan Small himself made a mistake out of turn 4, and he won't be doing that again here and qualify with the practice session underway as round turn 10 we go, as we make our way now into turn 11, the final corner, the slowest corner, I think, in the final corner there, and it's very easy to understeer there too. So Christian Chama makes his way towards the line, and let's see the benchmark. Everybody has to be at 1:23.6, so we have seen faster lap times as Michael Eckholt immediately places him in the McLaren. So I think Eckholt is back, same with Adrian Menendez as well, so nice to see them back as Ewan Small pops his Beamer into P2 there, as the Beamer in the Superbikes won the race, I believe, with, I think it was Toprak who won the Grand Prix. So that was a very good day for Beamer indeed, with the BMW behind, or the Ducati behind him, sorry. Jared Dunley goes up into P1, so that's 700 between himself and Michael Eckholt. I believe Jared Dunley is from USA, so hopefully here at his home Grand Prix he could try and get a decent result. So Jared Dunley, Michael Echo and Menendez, the Canadian driver who was leading the championship but unfortunately dropped backwards after missing a few races. I don't think he turned up back in the Japanese Grand Prix, but he did win back, I think, at the Valencia Grand Prix with Nathan Booth in second place. So we're going to go aboard with the number 1 driver in the Honda as he makes his way down into turn 1 we go, as we're on the brakes very hard there into the Andretti hairpin, and let's see how it takes it. Then you want to be hooking up on the inside into turn 2. You want to take a little apex to turn 1, I think, as now we're making our way towards turn 3. This right-hander we go. I'd like to go on board and see what he does there. I think he bounced over the curves a lot. I don't know if he's on the lap or not, but we're on board with somebody else as I try and flick our way through Menendez. Oh, he lost it and he's in the wall. Here's Menendez. I think he went out wide in turn 5 and he sustained a bit of damage, so back in the pit lane he goes. Menendez there has dropped it when Ewan Sport dropped it in the practice session, but hopefully he can get back in the pit lane, which he does, because you can return to garage on this game, not like in F1 I don't think, or MotoGP or anything like that. But anyways, we continue. We're on board with Christian Chamo now as we follow the number 7 of Harry Palmer. Harry Palmer was in a place to take the podium back at the Japanese Grand Prix after AJ's mistake, and obviously that race got cancelled, so no results from the previous round. As we make our way now towards this left-hander we go, and he goes all wide as Christian Chamo, so a bit too wide. I think he carried too much speed there and ultimately went off the track. I think he's backed off knowing that that time may not count, so we're going to go on board with Jake Garrett then. Jake Garrett, who was leading the Japanese Grand Prix, and unfortunately for him got cancelled. It was very important for Jake Garrett to try and get as many points as he can in the championship, because he's quite far behind, I think, in P4. Yellow flags further ahead, that's a spinner there, and that's the number 9 car of Alcon, unfortunately, and there's somebody else off the track as well. Is that Nathan Booth also off the circuit? So 2 drivers there getting in distraction for Jake Garrett, sorry. But luckily both incidents were off the track there, so luckily Jake Garrett had nothing to worry about. Now come round in turn 9 we go, headed into turn 10. This fast right-hander we go, lift up the floor, back it immediately as we make our way now towards this final corner. Not many people's favourite corner here, because it's a heavy braking zone and you're coming in from fast speed as well, and the tyres are hot, especially on the last corner as we go through towards the checker flag or the finish line. Let's see where Jake Garrett puts his car into P5. Jurien van Vienen in P6, the Dutchman, and we'll go on board with him right now to see what he's doing on the circuit. Oh, sorry about that, just put on board with the wrong person. That's Kenny in P10 in the BMW. And Ewan Small looks like he's got up to P1 then, so Ewan Small has taken pole. He looks like he's going for the lap time, and he's gaining a bit of time, but lost it on the exit there, so it looks like his exit speed wasn't quite great for him on his previous lap. So here we are into this left-hander once again, this fast left-hander, uphill on camber, which really helps the balance of the cars. Make our way, drop it down the corkscrew we go. This is a really difficult corner here, very easy to go off the circuit indeed, and we'll see how he takes it. Very nice through there, he gained a 10th at the exit. He takes a wide angle now going into this left-hander of turn 9 before we drop it down off the off-camber turn 10, and let's see how much time he can gain now into this corner we go. 2 tenths up there for Ewan Sport, but he's losing it a bit. Now we're making our way towards the final corner. Time is going up, but how's he going to be wide on the final corner? He's certainly losing a lot of time he gained, unfortunately, in that middle sector, and Ewan Sport has lost all of his time as Michael Echo goes up into P1. So that's great for him. There he is, just in front of us, returning to the garage then. It's a shame I can't really do what I like to do on F1, where I flick on board the drivers I want to. But anyways, nice sound of the engine there from the McLaren driver P11. He has been struggling in the practice session. He dropped at the exit of the corkscrew, and he dropped it too again at the exit of turn 6. So he's definitely struggling around here. Nathan Booth pops that McLaren into P3, going out wide there, so we'll lose the time. But I think that's alright. It's just on the limit though, but he has lost a bit of time there, so he tried to gain it back at the exit, but couldn't quite do it. It looks like he's going for another consecutive lap as Nathan Booth. I think he's had 1 podium finish so far, as Nathan JB. He finished P2 at, oh look at that, he almost got off the track there. We've taken too much cover the exit, which almost put him off the ground for the sand. But here we are, it's just left-hander we go, and takes it very nicely back on the throttle indeed. I love this circuit, it's fast flowing, but at the same time it can be very tricky with these corners here, and it's very punishing indeed when you get it wrong, because you can easily hit the barriers or go off into the gravel. But here we are at the top of the corkscrew once again, dropping down. I really love this corner, it's so good, but I don't think we're going to see overtakes through here unless somebody's feeling really brave, or unless still then drops at the exit of the corner and therefore has a chance to get a run out of this corner and overtake down the inside. But Nathan JB is losing time as we're going out towards the penultimate corner of turn 10 before we drop into turn 11, and this is the slowest corner on the circuit then, and let's see how he takes it. Loses a bit of time as he makes his way out, and let's see where he can pop up McLaren. I don't think he'll improve. Oh, that was so close to his previous best there, but Michael Echo is still on pole, and let's see if he can maintain. Yuru Visit is out there, currently 4 tons up in the first sector, so let's see if he can continue this form then. As this is Giroux's second race here this season. We couldn't quite see what he could do in the first race due to the lobby glitch, but let's see if he's found some more pace as the Dutchman there, as he gets a bit squirrely at the second part of the corkscrew going into turn 7 there, so might have lost himself a little bit of time. Didn't get the run he needed, but that lap time is invalidated, I say, because it is red. So his lap time won't count. Harry Palmer out there too, but he's coming a few hundreds down there in the last set, but he gained a lot of time, didn't he? Into turn 10 as he continues into 11. Can he find a bit more time and try and boost his position as he takes a very wide angle at the final corner, but he's lost time as he makes his way now towards the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be P8 now as Harry Palmer does improve. Jared Dunley's doing a decent job so far in the McLaren, currently starting P5, and look at that, didn't get the decent exit out there, did he? Didn't really get a good run out of the corner, did he? So he lost a lot of time there. He was 3 tenths up, but that corner lost him a lot of time. So he's still gaining it as he makes his way now towards the final few corners of this track, and let's see what he can do. Yellow flag just in front of us, but hopefully it won't affect him. He is 3 tenths up though, so if Jared Dunley hooks up a lap, he can really challenge for pole. He does. It's a 22.4. and Jared Dunley is on pole position, but we know there's more time to be found in the McLaren there for Jared, so let's see if he can make the time up. Josh Evandro again invalidates his lap time there, so he's not really having a decent result. Here's Josh Evandro, scored a podium back at the first GP when he was trying to keep Christian Chamo behind him. Talk about Christian Chamo, he's just got off the circuit there, and that's about turn 9, isn't it? So did he count on the speed, or did he get a bad run out of turn 7 and turn 8? But anyways, that lap time is done. Jake Garvin currently in P5 there, looking for more time, took too much curb on the inside, and he runs out wide there on the gravel. And that's unfortunate for Jake Garvin there. Verstappen is on a lap time then in the Lamborghini. Also with Jake Garvin there, the 2 Lamborghinis in this lobby. We've got McCartney as well, who's also in the Lamborghini, as he switched cars, I think. I can't remember what the last car he was in. But anyways, he makes his way towards the corkscrew, does Verstappen. We've seen a great battle between him and I think it was at the time Matthias Turk, who unfortunately disappeared because he only turned up for 1 race to Matthias, and they were really scrapping away, weren't they, in that race at Valencia. Then he also had a great battle back at the French GP, did Verstappen, when he came into contact with Menendez, I think it was. Here he is towards the final corner. Look at the time he's finding in that final corner, about 2 tenths he just found, and now he's making his way towards the finish line. What's it going to be for Verstappen? It's P8 there, 23.1, so he's about 6 or 7 tenths away from pole. McCartney really taking a lot of curb through turn 9. Ewan Small though, what can he do as he makes his way down into turns 1 and turns 2? Decent exit there, decent run this time as he makes his way now, pulling the car to the left hand side to try and get a good exit out of turn 3. This is a tricky part of the track, this is, as we make our way now towards a fast turn 4 we go. Lift off the throttle, dabbing a bit of the brakes there. We can see the dust being kicked up there from the car in front of us, and now we're making our way down towards turn 5 we go. Into this left-hander we go. This on-camber corner, which really helps rotate the car back on the throttle, and he is losing time there, so didn't get the best exit as he would have wanted. Now coming towards another left-hander here in turn 6 before we make our way now towards the corkscrew. Down this time, he was the quickest in the practice session, but seems to be struggling a bit here in qualifying. And let's see, can he try and make up some time now in the corkscrew? Gains a bit, but just not enough there to try and challenge for pole as he continues to lose time. Runs out wide there through turn 8 going into turn 9, or turn 10, sorry. And now let's see what Ewan Small could do. He did go out wide. Who's that in front of us? That looks like I think it was a Ford or Scott Dodds who just went off there. I'm not quite sure how he's done that, but anyways, that's his lap time ruined for Scott Dodds as he reverses on the circuit in the middle of the track. and I thought he would have returned to garage there, but he decides to continue. There is 1 minute 20 seconds left to go. I don't think Scott Dodds will get another lap time, because ideally he didn't get the best run out of the final corner, but we'll see. That's why he didn't return to garage, because we've only got 1 minute left in this qualifying session. So crucial times here for all the drivers. That 1 minute, 1 lap left to see if they could try and clinch pole away from, I think, Adrian Menezes in P1, because Michael Eccles P2, Jared Dudley, sorry, in P1 there. I like to do something different here, qualified, trying to get back on board with the right camera angle. It is quite complicated, but here we are, a bit of oversteer out of turn 3, or turn 4, now heading into this right-hander we go, where we see people go out wide, especially Menezes as well, who dropped it, and now we're making our way towards this left-hander we go. Let's see then how he takes this left-hander, gets back on the throttle as soon as the car is straightened up, and we'll see if Nathan can find any more lap time in his car. Michael Eccles still maintains P2. I wish we could change the graphic there. Oh, Nathan JB a bit wide, and unfortunately has invalidated his lap, so that lap time will not count. Michael Eccles is in P2. Can he try and trouble Jared Dudley in P1? And we'll see, there's not enough time left in the session. He's got one more lap after this one. Can Michael Eccles get on pole position? Ewan Small is up to P2. Jared Dudley is still on pole there. Can he maintain that though, because we've got a lot of drivers on the circuit. There is Jared Dudley, will stay on board with the man in P1, and we'll see if he can try and take pole away then. This is his last flying lap. He is finding time though, but there's a few cars in front of us, and if those cars slow down and make mistakes, it could affect Jared Dudley, his home Grand Prix. And he's finding a bit more time, almost a 10th up in hand is Jared Dudley now. Let's sit out in 4th gear before we get on the brakes once again. Going this left-hander in turn 4. Back on the power once again, we're going towards turn 5. And we'll see if we can try and find any more time. This lovely turn 5, carried on speed through there, but track limits is brutal. As we see from Nathan JB, he has lost a bit of time as we make our way now towards the corkscrew, this blind crest on the hill. Somebody in front of us, that's Ewan Small, goes off the circuit, and also Jared Dudley also makes a mistake. And look at that, he bounced over the curb into the wall to Ewan Small, and that's the qualifying done and dusted, took towards curb on the inside and bounced off it. And I think Jared Dudley will not improve, so that's him potentially done and dusted unless he can find a bit more time in this final corner. But here he is, Jared Dudley crosses the line to stay on pole. I don't think nobody can challenge him. There is your results then. Look at the gaps between P1 and P2. It is separated by 2 inches there. And where is Jake Garrett? That's the question. P5 is not really a good qualifier for him, as he's used to be known up there in the qualifying sessions. But Jared Dudley is on pole ahead of Ewan Small. Michael Eccles in P3 with Nathan Booth in a P4. Jake Garrett P5 ahead of Jurien van Vienen. Adrian Menezes P7 ahead of Christian Chamo. Harry Palmer in P9 ahead of ILT Kenny P10. Jacob Booth, who had a really strong qualifying in Japan, started P4, is down in to P11. Alcon is P12 ahead of Visa. Evandro 14th ahead of Hansen, Dari, Tope, Scott Dodds, and total Ps Main McCartney in P19. 19 drivers, and Dari's got a stop go penalty, it says. Is that correct? It's SG. Is that a stop go? 20 seconds? He's got it before the race, so I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but hopefully it resets, because what could he have done wrong? Jared Dudley is very happy and delighted, because he said it's his first pole in the game. Well deserved indeed for Jared Dudley. Can he continue there, because he's got a long race ahead of us? 1 hour of a full concentration is required around here at Laguna Seca, because a small mistake will cost you big time, as we've seen so far in the qualifiers session. We've seen Menezes drop it, we've seen Rotation drop it, we've seen Ewan Small also drop it too. And also track limits on the outside, I think, of turn 6 can really cost you as well. So you've got to watch out for them track limits there at the exit of those corners. We didn't race in Japan. Well, yes, we did actually, but unfortunately got cancelled. So those results did not count due to the server glitching out. As we go towards the results from the previous race, hopefully it is the right results. I think it's the right results anyway, and we'll see then. So Jay Garrett won the last race ahead of Ewan Small. Harry Palmer finished in P3. That was the top 3 there, and I want to make sure that is the right result because I actually can't remember what the last race was, even though it was Japan, but the race before. That's what I mean. Hopefully, it didn't classify it as it was the Red Bull ring, wasn't it? I don't think Harry Palmer got on the podium that day. In fact, he did actually get on the podium because I remember him spinning, but came back at Nathan Booth to claim a podium. So hopefully the server doesn't crash and we'll enjoy this race around here, but at this 5.4 3-point mile circuit, and it should be a good one. Hopefully we might see a lot of mistakes from all these drivers due to dropping it at potentially the corkscrew or the exit, the fast speed corners like turn 5, turn 6 and turn 7. That could really cost people, and turn 10 as well. And then you got that slow left-hander into turn 11, the final corner, where a few people do go out wide, and a few people might suffer from that as well. So we'll see. Michael Eckhart, who starts P3, his best result last week or 2 weeks ago in P5 at the Austrian Grand Prix, the Red Bull Ring. So we are having the right results here because this is round 6 technically, but it is round 5 because the Japanese Grand Prix did get cancelled, so it is the right results. The last time Michael and Menendez raced, Adrian Menendez, was back in Austria. They finished in P5 and P6 together. I remember Menendez being up there in the first few minutes of the race, but he just went backwards, maybe struggling in the wet conditions because the qualifying were dry, but it looks like he was struggling. You haven't seen Sebastian Wistrup either. Hopefully Sebastian comes back because he's been doing really well so far this season. I think inside the top 10. Dominic Crosby also hasn't been here either. So looking at these names, and that stop-go penalty is still there for Dari in P16, Relentless Dari in the Ferrari, so he hasn't really shown his full name, but of course you don't have to if you don't want to, of course. Totally up to you. Rosnoff is also another driver we haven't seen so far, but we're going to read the championship standings out for you because at the top it is Ewan Small by 176 points, ahead of Harry Palmer, who's second in the championship after scoring 2 podiums in a row in round 3 and round 4. Michael Eckholt's P3. Michael is back and he could be under threat from Jake Garrett, but luckily for him, luckily for Michael, he didn't. The Japanese Grand Prix got cancelled because of the glitch we had with the lobby, the G portal section, I think it was. So Michael could have lost P3 in the championship, but Jake Garrett would have been furious. He had 1 DNS back at round 2, I think it was at Valencia. He had a big mistake at round 3.
30 seconds.
I think it was the first GP when he spun by Ewan Small. So he'll be looking to bounce back, currently in P5. The engines are revving up, so we'll get underway very shortly. I want to make sure I do this correctly because I don't want to go on. There we go, that's the best camera. I can't return to garage, but anyways, we'll watch from this point of view. I want to go on board with first place to try and set things up. That's second place, but second will do because it is quite close to first, and we could see the drivers in full view, all 19 of them. And away we go then for the formation lap with a double file, of course. You know what I should have done? I should have set the camera up before the race started, but yeah, this ain't really my territory, ACC. I'm still getting used to it. I would love for the order to be in order. That didn't make sense, did it? But I loved for the left-hand side to be in order because it doesn't go on board with drivers like second, third, or fourth. It goes from second to 15th to 10th to 8th. That's really annoying. I'd rather have it in order instead of like trying to find them in a panic. Mixture of McLarens there in the top 10 with about 2 Lamborghinis in 5th and 6th place. Can Jared Dunley get his win at his home Grand Prix here in USA, Laguna Seca? It's a shame MotoGP don't race around here no more because it's a fantastic track to watch those bikes, especially in World Superbikes as well. They race around here. We've got sports cars that race around here too. That fantastic battle between Casey Stoner and Valentino Rossi, the Australian versus the Italian at the time, and they went hammer and tongue around here at the corkscrew when Valentino Rossi went off the track and pushed him out wide. But unfortunately for Casey Stoner, he crashed but still finished in second place. That's how far ahead they were. They were in a league of their own with Valentino Rossi Then the last winner around here in MotoGP at Laguna Seca was, I think, Marc Marquez in 2013. And Marc Marquez as well had a battle with Valentino Rossi around here too in 2011, where Marc Marquez, I think, was in his second or third year in MotoGP and fought out. Scott Dodds, instead of sending me memes, he's focused on the racetrack. He just sent me a meme on Instagram. So I think it's time for him to focus on the circuit. He did spin in the final corner, didn't he? At qualifying in turn 11. The sports cars were racing around here too. I think it was live streamed at one point, but unfortunately I didn't get to watch it because I think I was busy at the time. But now they have to go double file, 2 by 2. I think Jared Dunley, judging by his position, should have the inside line going down into turn 1, so I think that will benefit him. Ewan Sport tries to go around the outside of Jake Garrett into turn 1 and turn 2 in Japan, but couldn't quite pay it off. And we're about to race underway very shortly, and we'll see what happens down into turn 1. There we are, double file we go, and who will get the best launch as soon as we cross the line to go green flag racing here in Laguna Seca. And green light is underway, we return to garage immediately, and here we are then. It looks like Ewan Sport is ahead of Jared Dunley, so not the best start, but Jared Dunley has the inside line going down into turn 1. When he gets it back on the brakes though, Ewan Sport around the outside, but Jared Dunley has the preferred inside line, and he does. Michael Eccles defending from Nathan Booth, and he stays in P3, but Jared Dunley's lost the lead, who took it back immediately away from Ewan Small. And looks like they all get away unscathed so far. Looks like every single driver out there, but the timing... Oh, there's a spinner in the background. It looks like the Buzz Lightyear car of, I think it is Josh Evandro at the time. Yes, it is. Josh Evandro has spun and also taking somebody out. But here comes Ewan Sport up the inside. And let's see, is this a move there for first place? On about to go wheel to wheel, making our way towards the top of the corkscrew. Somebody has got to back out. Here we are, down into turn 6. Bit of contact, Ewan Sport is off the road, and also he spun, he hits 2 drivers. Chaos in the first opening lap of this race. We make our way now towards the top of the corkscrew. And Jared Dunley, the number 28, leads my way ahead of Jake Garrett. Jake Garrett from P5 to P2. Where is Ewan Small? Ewan Small is still in P5 there. So it looks like that Michael Eccles came off worse by tagging 2 drivers as well. Who were those 2 drivers there? I'm not quite sure. There's more contact going down the field. That's McCartney off the circuit, the number 16. And also, is that Eccles again? It might be Eccles, I'm not quite sure. But the top 3, Jared Dunley, Jake Garrett and Nathan Booth, that is the top 3, with Adrian Menendez and P4, Ewan Small, who made contact with the driver in P14 now. That is, I think it is, Michael Eccles. Take a breather, and that was a chaos first lap, wasn't it, with Ewan Small and Michael Eccles. They both went to the track together. I think Ewan Small got tagged by the Canadian driver and unfortunately sent him off the track. But it was Michael Eccles who came off worse, and that's detrimental for his championship, because his P3 in the championship is Michael Eccles, but Jake Garrett's in P2. So if it stays like this, it will score a whole lot of points and now further promote him in the championship. So yeah, huge blow to his race. And Dari serves a 20-second time penalty. So why has he got that stop go for? Because that stop go happened before the race. So what, did he make contact with somebody qualifying, and does it carry over to the race? That's my only explanation, really, to be honest with you. He picked it up before we went to the formation lap, and we were standing still, waiting for the formation lap to go underway. So I'm not quite sure why he picked up that stop go. So like in qualifying, but that's Ewan Small looking for a move going down into turn 11, the final corner, but it's too tight, that corner. And let's see if he gets a good run out of the final corner, putting Adrian Menendez, the Canadian driver, all sorts of pressure as we make our way now down towards turn 1 we go. Adrian Menendez holds the inside line. Ewan Small forced to go around the outside. Later breaks is the BMW. Will he go out wide? Will Adrian Menendez fight back? Here we go. Then Ewan Small carries the momentum around the outside, going down into turn 3. Has the inside line for this corner, and great control of the car, but there's more contact, and he's spun. He's hit the wall. Ewan Small has hit the wall, the championship leader, and that's a shame there. That's really going to hurt him in the championship for Ewan Small. This is a big door opening for Jake Garrett in P2. Twice in about 2 laps for Ewan Small, he's made contact with somebody there. Jacob Booth really hogs the corner there, but gets away with it. Otherwise, he would have been off the track, but luckily stays on it there. But I feel sorry for Ewan Small. They're trying to make a move, but that's two drivers making contact with him. And that's Harry Palmer now trying to make a move. Let's see what he does at the top of corkscrew. There's Christian Chamo under all sorts of pressure. Ewan Visser is also there too. The number 7 of Harry Palmer going through. That's a great move. But it looks like the number 101 of Christian Chamo is trying to fight back around the outside. What a great comeback there from Christian Chamo to go back up into P6 and maintains it there. It looked like he lost the place, but had the drive to go around the outside and stay there. We are seeing some big gaps opening up now, with the leader of Jared Dunley looking really comfortable so far. But what could it have been for Ewan Small if he didn't make contact with Michael Eckholtz, if he didn't make contact there with Menendez? He would be absolutely furious, because I dare say he would have the pace, because he was so close. He was the closest person to Jared Dunley by about 200 separated those two, nothing between them. But all of a sudden he finds himself way down the order, and now hopefully the damage is not, I don't know what I was going to say there, but hopefully the damage is not big. I don't even know what to say. But anyways, Jake Garrett there in P2, 1.8 now. Nathan Booth is catching him. The gap is 8/10. Yeah, Ewan Small, hopefully the damage is not, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm going to stop. But anyways, Jacob Booth in P5 under pressure from Christian Chamo and Harry Palmer. Looks like Jacob Booth has pulled away slightly as the timing screens have not been updated fully, and Harry Palmer then looking for another way past of the Swedish driver in P6. But actually, did they gain a lot of time? Looks like Jacob Booth there lost a lot of time there out of the corkscrew, because all of a sudden Christian Chamo's all over the back of him. He was a few car lengths in front when they came out of the corkscrew, but looks like Jacob Booth made a mistake somewhere, and that's what cost him back at the Japanese Grand Prix, because Jacob Booth was in P3, then dropped away from the podium due to him making a big mistake out of Dunlop. As we make our way now towards turn 1 and turn 2 again, looks like Nathan JB, his brother, has lost a lot of time towards Jake Garrett. So Jake Garrett actually sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. Has he found his form? Has he found his rhythm now? Has he found a bit more pace in that Lamborghini? And we'll see if the charge is on between P1 and P2. Jared Dunley there in P1, who's not been on the podium just yet this season, on course to potentially win, but there's still a long way to go in this race. The concentration 100% at all times. Got to make sure you carry the speed to the corners, got to make sure you keep it within the track limits there, not taking too much curb on the inside, otherwise it'll bounce you off the track and into the wall. And any sort of mistake, and Jake Garrett's actually gained a bit of time. That's 3/10 now he's taken out of Jared Dunley's advantage, so 1.6 to 1.3 in the first sector alone. So Jared Dunley there could be under massive pressure, and talk about pressure, Jacob Booth is in all sorts of bother with the 2. That's Harry Palmer going to the inside, but you can see Christian Chamo holding the outside line and therefore stays ahead. And Christian is thinking about attacking and defending at the same time, so got to watch out for both of them. And here is Harry Palmer up the inside, but can't quite get close enough towards the back of that Lamborghini. And if you watch the top 2, Jake Garrett has taken another 2/10 out from Jared Dunley's advantage. Was that a bit of contact there between Christian and Harry Palmer? It could have been, but Harry Palmer looks like he's desperate to get past, knowing he's got more pace in that McLaren. Where is the best place to strike? Because at the same time, they're losing time towards Jacob Booth. As long as Harry can try and find a way past without losing too much time towards Booth in P5. As you can see, Jared Dunley there gaining a bit of time. Harry Palmer gets on the dirt and loses a bit of time towards Christian Chamo there, dipping the wheel in the dirt there, as Christian Chamo now all over the back of Jacob Booth. He's under all sorts of pressure, is the McLaren driver. Can he sustain it really well? Can he keep these two at bay? He did it back at the, I think it was the Japanese Grand Prix when he was under massive pressure then, but he did go for a little bit of a spin or a mistake somewhere as those two got through with ease. But the gap now towards 1 second between Jake Garrett and Jared Dunley. Here we are in the corkscrew once again. Different lines being taken by all 3 different drivers there to attack and defend. Harry Palmer getting close towards the back of Christian Chamo. Where is the best place to overtake, I wonder? There's no long straights around here, is there? We've got a short straight when we head up to turn 5. But that's it. And here is Christian Chamo on the inside in the final corner. Harry Palmer now looking to go around the outside there. So Christian, who tried to overtake, all of a sudden has to defend. And guess who's in the background? That's Ewan Small, who's in the background of your picture. So despite the damage, it looked like he got some decent pace. And there is the top two. The gap is 6/10 now between Jared Dunley and Jay Garrett. So Jay Garrett has found some pace in his Lamborghini. He dropped away in the first few minutes of this race, but now he can find himself fighting for the lead of the Grand Prix. So keep an eye on the top two there to see what can happen. Nathan Booth is not too far behind either. And look at that. Will Jared Dunley go out wide? Will Jay Garrett take advantage? Here we are out of turn 5, going in towards turn 6 now. Is Jay Garrett close enough to make a move? He don't want to take any crazy risks, especially in the championship, knowing his championship rivals are further down in the championship standings. So got to watch out for any sort of contact there for Jay Garrett, but can't quite make a move. Oh, there's contact! That's Jay. Oh, Jay Garrett's made contact there with Jared Dunley. And I think he's been overtaken. Yes, he has. So Nathan Booth is up into P2, and Jared Dunley has fallen down into P3. I think that's Jay Garrett's fault, in my honest opinion, because obviously you've got to adapt to the guy ahead who's braking for the corner, and I think Jay Garrett should let him through. I think he is. So let's see the order now. Yeah, so Nathan Booth's up to P1, Jay Garrett's in P2, and Jared Dunley's in P2. Sorry, I get mixed up there, because the timing and what you see on track is completely different. So there's the order updated. Jacob Booth is still in P5, but look at this side by side. Who is that going side by side? That's Christian Chamo now under pressure from Ewan Small, and he looks like he's in front of him. Yes, he is. Ewan Small is ahead of Harry Palmer, sorry. So actually, where did Ewan Small get past Harry Palmer and Christian Chamo? I really wish I could see that, because that must have been a fantastic move. And Jacob Booth is still in P5. So Jared Dunley is in P2. I don't think Jay Garrett will get a penalty because... Oh, he just hit the back of him again. I don't think he'll get a penalty because he gave the place back, but ideally he lost him the race. So I say race, he lost him the race win. Sorry, lead. I don't even know what's going on here. It's been a long day, sorry. But he lost him the race lead, and we'll see if any sort of consequences will happen towards the end of this race. That's the most Jay Garrett can do. Give the place back and see what happens in the stewards room. As we head towards the corkscrew, because the quartet, that's Harry Palmer going out wide. Christian Chamo is through again. And what's happened to Ewan Small as well? Looks like he's lost a bit of time. And here comes Christian Chamo flying. Look at the exit he has. But he goes onto the dirt there. There's no way through on that particular part of the track. And now Harry Palmer is coming back on Christian Chamo. So looks like these guys are really struggling, fighting with the cars. All of a sudden, all three of them make a mistake. And who's that in the background? That's Jeroen Visser in P9. Looking to take any sort of advantage, but this is getting spicy. But go back on board with this battle, because Christian and Harry are still fighting over P7, and we'll see then, can the Lamborghini stay ahead? No, because Harry Palmer is back ahead, but Christian later breaks there, trying to go around the outside. Can he carry the speed? He goes a bit deep, and here comes Jeroen Visser. Can he make an overtake? He was so close to hitting him, but Christian Chamo can't do it in terms of overtaking Harry Palmer again. And now I've got to watch out for the mighty Dutchman of Jeroen Visser. I think he's in Shazoo, if I'm not mistaken, in the Formula 1 esports team. For those of you who don't know what that is, it is a Formula 1 esports team. But here we are, the top four in close contention of each other. This is getting very interesting. Did I see flashing lights there from Jay Garrett? I'm not quite sure. Did Jay Garrett flash his lights? But it looks like Nathan JB, look at that. Jared Dunley sliding there through the corkscrew. And you can see he's under massive pressure now from Jay Garrett right behind him. Nathan JB is starting to pull away from this pair, with Adrian Menendez, the Canadian driver, back in close contention. Adrian Menendez was the one that made contact with Ewan Small. Talking about smaller balls, he's right at the back. When he go for an overtake, it was a dummy, hoping that Jacob Booth would go out wide, but Jacob Booth is not affected by that dummy. But I think Jared Dunley now has pulled the gap down under a second between Nathan and Jared. And Ewan Small, did he overtake? No, he hasn't yet. But when he goes, there's the brakes going down into one, and Jacob Booth just stays ahead for the time being. But Harry Palmer and Christian Chamo have dropped off slightly from Jacob Booth. So Jacob Booth, the one under massive pressure, he's the only one in our quartet that stayed where he is, not being overtaken by Harry or Christian, but maybe from Ewan Small, because look at Ewan Small, despite the damage he sustained on his car by being taken out by Menendez in this corner, he's still got some great pace. Here he is up the inside into 5. Did he make it stick? Yes, he does. Up into P5 he goes. That's the corner, I think, where he made contact with Eckholt in P17. And what's happening to Jacob Booth? I thought he was about to let Harry Palmer go, but he didn't. Here we are with the top three once again. That's Jake Garrett Dudley and Nathan Booth, all of them in close contention. Jacob Booth dropping into P6 as we've seen on the track in real time. And now Harry Palmer finds himself with the McLaren in front of us again. And Harry Palmer overtaking Christian Chamo. Chamo failed to do what he did on Jacob Booth. Can Harry Palmer make it successful this time and try to overtake his fellow engine manufacturer of McLaren? I say engine, I said the same make, of course. Jake Garrett is about 8 tenths further back. They've gone off the track together, and is Christian Chamo about to make his way through on both of them? I don't think they made contact there, but they both went off the track together, which was quite strange. It looked like they outbooked themselves nearly. But Harry Palmer, here's Christian Chamo on the inside. It's turn one. Does he make it stick? He does. But will Jacob Booth? Oh, there's contact! And Jacob Booth there almost spins the car. And he spins Harry Palmer! Harry Palmer spun! The man who's in P2 in the championship has spun, and Jacob Booth was the one that spun him, unfortunately, after recovering from his own spin. And here comes the Buzz Lightyear car. Josh Evandro, who I haven't spoke about because he spun, didn't he, in the first lap of this race? Making contact with somebody, I'm not quite sure who it was, sorry. Heck, here is Alacon right behind then, as he's looking to try and take Christian Chamo on. Oh, that's contact, and he spins, and he forces Chamo off the track. And there's more contact going on down there. What a crazy race. Contact being made left, right and centre. And Alacon, who's the one that comes off worst out of all of them. Bumpy race between these guys. Wow, crazy. And Harry Palmer is now back ahead of Christian Chamo. Are they back together? I don't think they are, because they're on different parts of the circuit now, aren't they? But Adrian Menendez now, the man who scored on the podium. The man who won the race, I think, at the Valencia Grand Prix, or was that Michael Eckholt? I think it was him who won the Valencia Grand Prix. Nathan Booth could be on course for his first win of the season. Remember last season when he won the championship, and here he is now. 2 seconds is the gap between himself and Jake Garrett, with Jared Dudley still on the podium in his home Grand Prix, the man at top pole. As Harry Palmer, I think, have been separated there from Josh Evandro, who's struggling himself. Ewan Small is lonely in P5, nowhere to be seen. Well, nowhere, no, he can't see anybody in front of him or behind him. So the gap is 7.2. Let's keep an eye on that. Has he got the pace to try and catch up towards P3 and P4? Because remember, everybody's got to do their mandatory one stop, and there's still 40 minutes left to go in this chaotic race. Wow, what a race is so far. Oh, who's that who was dropping at the exit of the corkscrew? Was that Jared Dudley in P3? I think it was. Not the first time we've seen him get all squirrely out of that corner. Just gets away with it though. But Adrian Menendez returns after missing the Japanese Grand Prix and tried to see if he could try and score a podium here at Laguna Seca. He did win back in round 2 of the Valencia Grand Prix. That was his one and only podium, that was. But he could be on for his second podium of the season, with Jared Dudley trying to hunt for his first podium here in CRL. Can he do it? Hasn't had the best of races, has Jared Dudley. Been involved in a few incidents in the last few races when he's raced. As we watch the battle between P3 and P4, as Menendez gets very close to the back of Jared in P3 in the McLaren, the Honda versus the McLaren. He's currently P13 in the championship. Here's Jared Dudley, finished in 7th and 8th, and he DNF'd back at round 3 of the French GP and didn't make an appearance there. So we haven't seen much of Jared, but he has finished 7th and 8th in the first 2 races. But looking to try and see if he can score a podium here in ACC, then we can interview the American driver. Currently P30 in the championship, a few points away from Sebastian Wistrup. And Ewan Small, who leads the championship after being taken out a few moments ago. Jake Garrett slightly catching Nathan Booth. The gap's not dropping dramatically, it's only taking oh, who's that? Somebody spun! Who is it? Can't identify who it is. Who has just gone for a spin? Was that? I'm not quite sure who it was. They left the session because we lost somebody there. So I think it was a back marker who spun. I thought it was Menendez or Ewan Small. Who is it who's just spun? Is that Jared Dunley who's dropped down the order? Where is he? I think it is. Jared Dunley's out of the session. I think it was him who spun. Yeah, it is. Jared Dunley has just spun and he's out of the race. He went back in the pit lane and he's retired in the garage. And that's Menendez on the podium. So an easy P3 there. But look at Ewan Small. If you remember what I said a few laps ago, the gap was 7.2. Now it's 5.4 between Ewan Small and Menendez. Bearing in mind though, yeah, it is. So yeah, I am right about that one. So Menendez there. The podium might not be secure because he's still got one driver, the championship leader, the man you don't want behind you in P4, hunting him down. And what looked like to be an unlikely podium for Ewan Small after being taken out twice is back up there. 15 drivers remain in the session there, with Michael Eckholtz being in last place after making contact with Ewan Small. He came off worst and taking another driver out with him. And where Giroud Visser has got past Harry Palmer as well, so Harry Palmer further demotes himself into P7, but I think that's because of the spin he had. Jacob Booth is running his own race in P5, very quiet so far after being chased down by the likes of Palmer, Ewan Small and Christine Chamo. But he has got Giroud Visser right behind him as well in P6. His second race here for the Dutchman between Giroud and Jacob Booth. Adrian Menendez though looking to try and pull a gap or try and maintain that P3 with Ewan Small hunting him down as the gaps do update. Let's see what it's like in the first sector. Has Ewan Small gained any time? Let's have a look. The gap was 5.7. It is. In a few moments time we'll see the gap is still 5.7, so no loss or no gain there for third or fourth. With about 40 minutes left to go. 40 minutes is a long time. Catching up is one thing, but overtaking is another thing, because Adrian Menendez will be desperate. But look at this, Jake Garrett, the gap was 2 seconds a few moments ago. Now it's 9:10, so Jake Garrett has eaten into Nathan's lead, and he goes a bit wide at the exit of turn 7, going into turn 8 there in the corkscrew. Now it's the left-hander of turn 9. Can be very difficult indeed. Off camber corner, going into turn 10, this right-hander we go. Before we make our way now towards the final corner in turn 11, the slowest corner on the circuit. So the battle for the lead is on. Jake Garrett once again hunting down Nathan Booth, and we'll see how Nathan can defend this. Nathan was gifted a victory. Nathan was gifted first place after Jake and Jared made contact. But we'll see if Jake now can try and respond back and take back his lead. I don't think Jake Garrett has led a lap yet, has he? Because when he tried to overtake the previous leader of Jared Dunley, he spun him and allowed Nathan Booth go, and allowed Jared Dunley to go as well. So Jake Garrett hasn't led yet in this race, so we could see a new leader leading this race. Real feel sorry there for Jared Dunley. Probably lost his head a bit too with that contact with Jake Garrett. But here we are then, the battle for P1 and P2 continues. Ewan Small has taken 4/10 out of Adrian Menendez in P3. Jake Garrett there almost lost it at turn 6. That was very close there to dropping the back end of the car, but he saves it. The gap goes up to 1.2 then, so Nathan has been relieved a bit. But with 40 minutes left to go, this is going to be a very hard race for Nathan Booth indeed. Full concentration is required around here in Laguna Seca and anywhere too. It's very easy to make a mistake whilst you're being hunted down for the lead with a long race left to go. But Jake Garrett is in the pit lane and he's called it a day on those tyres. Let's see then, the first person who's pitted in the big league as Giroud Visser is gaining on Jacob Booth. There he is there, Giroud Visser, who struggled in Japan last week, now hunted down Jacob Booth for P5. Jacob Booth, I don't think he's got any points yet, has he? Because the last race got cancelled and he was at P4 at the time. Let's see if Jacob Booth has got points. He still might not have any points yet during the season. No, he hasn't. So Jacob Booth hasn't got any points yet because the last race was cancelled as Jake has demoted down the order due to pitting. But yeah, we'll see then how this goes between Jacob Booth. I feel sorry for him that the race was cancelled back in Japan because it looked like he was on course for a podium, but remember he did make a mistake somewhere, probably out of Dunlop, and that allowed, I think it was Harry Palmer to go through at the time. So we'll see there, will Nathan Booth respond on the next lap to Jake Garrett's undercut threat there? And we'll see how this race pans out in the second phase once everybody makes their pit stops. Nathan Booth lost a podium at the Austrian Grand Prix due to pitting onto new tyres during the wet race, where people like Ewan Small and Harry Palmer got him back. Nathan Booth was running in P2 at the time until he pitted onto new tyres, which cost him a lot of time, because I think the wet tyres are very durable indeed, so therefore they were able to take him to the end by only having one tyre set for the whole race, and that's what cost Nathan the podium there on that day. But I think they will have a mandatory one stop for fuel and new tyres, of course, because those tyres can't go towards the end. Although we've seen Sebastian Wistrop and Adrian Menendez do a mighty stint back in Indianapolis in the first two races where they took their tyres a very long way. We'll see how the second race pans out now between here towards the end. Looks like Nathan Booth is staying out there, of course. Bit of dirt being kicked up there by the drivers. Josh Evancho all of a sudden is back up into P6 there, so despite him spinning in the first lap, sorry if I wasn't paying attention, but looks like Christian Chamo is starting to struggle. But look at Menendez actually. Menendez is catching Nathan Booth, and he's actually pulled away from Ewan Small as well, I think, just a bit. So Menendez there having some pace now, and we'll see then. Nathan Booth might not be comfortable just yet, but he's headed into the pit lane then to change onto new tyres and more fuel in the car. Ewan Small up into P3, but we know he's got to pit once again. I say again, he's got to pit. There is Jay Garrett then. Where will he rejoin in comparison to Nathan Booth on his fresher tyres? We're about to find out once he makes his way towards the line. He's quite far away into it, but obviously the pit stops are very long around here, of course, at ACC with refueling and new tyres. Not like F1 where it's a 2-second stop and off you go again. Makes his way out of the corkscrew now, and we'll see if any more drivers pit, as we'll see where will Nathan Booth rejoin. He's still in the pit lane as Jay Garrett is coming towards turn 10. But we'll see then, where will Jay Garrett rejoin? Will he rejoin in front of Nathan or behind? Jimmy Visser is still in the back of Jacob Booth, still can't overtake him there. So it looks like Jacob Booth is doing a good job to defend, currently in P3. But there we are, Nathan Booth versus Jay Garrett, and Jay Garrett has got ahead of Nathan Booth. The undercut has worked, and he's currently ahead. We'll see then, can Nathan Booth respond towards the second half of this race? Adrian Menendez is yet to pit. He had some mighty pace there in the Honda driver. The car behind is a back marker. The car in front is a back marker too, the number 7. And I think the number 10. I thought I saw a car behind him. It wasn't Ewan Sport, but I thought there was a car right behind him, so I'm not quite sure what I'm seeing, but there is a car in front of him of Alacon there in P13. He's had his own mistakes. He made contact with Christian Chamo in turn 5, which put them both out of contention. But Christian Chamo has spun. There he is in the final corner, has spun his car away, and he's really struggled ever since that contact. Josh Evancho promoted to P5. Jacob Booth on the podium, but we know he's yet to pit in this race. So Nathan Booth still got the fastest lap. The gap is 1.8. Can he respond back towards Jay Garrett? Hopefully the battle continues between these two, because they're looking spicy at one point. But Adrian Menendez is still leading this race. Ewan Small is gaining time there on Adrian Menendez, and might not be over yet for the BMW driver in P2. Podium could be on course for him if everything goes his way. We've got 14 drivers in this race. $14 drivers left in this race after a few retirements, like the big contender of Jared Dunley, who spun out of turn 9. Celebrates the pole, but ended in tears afterwards. Dips the wheel into the grass once again, does Nathan Booth, or the dirt shall I say, as he tries to hunt down Jay Garrett. The gap is at 1.9, so an extra 10th has been gained for Jay Garrett. But Nathan Booth is still on course for a podium, of course, so we'll see if he could try and stay on the podium or try and win this race. So Ewan Small is in the pit lane to end his first stint, so is Josh Evandro in P5. As Jeroen Visser now promoted to P3. It's not really any battles going on this circuit, as both of them are in the pit lane in the McLaren and the BMW car. The BMW, of course, won at Portugal a few hours ago after, I think it was Totrak who won the Portuguese Grand Prix after being hunted down by the Ducatis behind. So it was a good day for the BMW cars as well, or the BMW bikes, shall I say. But here in the car endurance racing, we'll see if the McLaren can win on top. The Lamborghini is currently in a net P1 because the top 6 hasn't pitted just yet. And Ewan Small has, where is he? He's got the pit lane right now. I thought he rejoined ahead of Nathan, but that's just the timing screens for you. Confusing me once again. I thought he got it between Nathan and Jake, but he hasn't. There he is in the background. The gap is 2.2 then, so it looks like Jake Garrett now being released from Nathan JB. That early attempt to go for the pit lane has worked out in his favours, and he currently leads the Grand Prix. Does Jake Garrett. Nathan JB, has he got anything to respond with? Try and get his first win here this season at ACC. Had a lot of wins last season, but the other guys have stepped up their game. Ewan Small is actually not far behind Nathan Booth, is he? He's still got some mighty pace. Despite hitting the wall heavily, that damage hasn't really affected him. And maybe in the pit lane he could have got rid of that damage too. So the damage wasn't really costly there, but here we are then, the battle for P2, P3. Is that Kenny there in the background too? And I think that Jeroen Visser now on the back of Jacob Booth. Somebody went out wide there. That's a battle mark right. Colt, I think, down there in P14, just suffering just a bit there as he's been a lap down. Michael Eckholt, what could it have been for him if he didn't make contact there? There's been a lot of contact during this Grand Prix, but some fascinating battles indeed. I want to keep an eye on this man, the championship leader in P7. If you remember with Valencia, he got spun out in the first lap, down the order, came back to finish in P6 or 7, I believe it was. He's 7th right now, but we know that's not his overall position, that's his net position, because we know the top 4 are left to pit. And once they do pit, Ewan Small could potentially be in P3 or P4, depends where Adrian Menendez is, if he's continued some good pace, because we know Ewan Small was hunted down Menendez. So watch out for Ewan Small in the latter stages of this race. Nathan Booth is dropping backwards towards Jake Garrett, probably in the clutches of Ewan Small. Ewan Small has recovered beautifully, as he always does, like he is. Not beautifully, sorry, not beautiful as he is, but in terms of driving, sorry, that's what I mean. He recovered well at the, I think it was the Valencia Grand Prix when he got tagged by somebody, I can't remember who it was. The gap is dropping now between Ewan and Nathan. Can Nathan respond to that? Has he got no more pace in hand to try and keep Ewan Small in a net P7? Ewan Visser can't find a way past Kenny or Jacob Booth. He gets close, then drops away. So Jacob Booth actually has done a fantastic job this race, because he actually hasn't lost a position. I say that Ewan Small did overtake him, but we know the pace difference that Ewan Small has. But Jacob Booth has maintained the pressure really well, because he was got hunted down by Jacob Palmer. Sorry, what's his name? Harry Palmer and Christian Charo in P11. That's the battle marker on Michael Heckholt there in the corkscrew. Should have been involved in this battle, but contact was made. He spun in the middle of the track and got collected by a few others too. He took out 2 cars when he spun out. Can't remember who they were. That's how good I am at identifying who's who. Oh, look at this then. So Nathan Booth is 8 tenths behind of Jake Garrett. Has he upped the pace, or has Jake Garrett made a mistake somewhere on the circuit? What was the gap? 2.4. So I dare say Jake Garrett made a mistake, didn't he? Surely, because he would have lost like 1.2 or 1.3 in the space of 1 lap. So I think that Nathan Booth, could the battle be on for P5 and P6? Jake Garrett making a few mistakes. We've seen it so far. And we are halfway into this race as well. We'll go on board. Who shall go on board with him? We can't really keep an eye if I go on board with somebody. Return back to garage. Press the wrong button there. Nathan Booth still maintains the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Kenny in P4 is doing a really great job so far. He is the Finnish driver. Yeah, struggled in the last few races, has Kenny, but it looks like he's doing a decent job so far. I think Michael Eckholt is in the back of the McLaren driver. There we are, the battle for P13 and P14. Both had their own mistakes in this race after spinning out and making contact with people. And this is going to really hurt Michael Eckholt in the championship, because if Jake Garrett wins, that's a huge bunch of points. Who's that? That's just went out wide there. Was that Dylan Hansen? No, it wasn't, because he's further ahead. I think it was him, actually. Menendez is still out there. He's got a car out behind him, but that's not the battle for the lead. That's a back marker. Jacob Booth apparently is one lap behind, but he's not. Actually, it could be the battle for the lead. No, it's not, sorry, but that's Michael Eckholt. Not really good, am I, identifying who's who? As Paul Kalainen is in the pit lane. Kenny. We all love Kenny, of course. He's a very funny guy when he gets angry. He's like Kimi Räikkönen when he gets angry. But Nathan Booth is 9/10 behind of Jake Garrett then, so Ewan Small is also catching. You know what, I'm interested. The last few minutes of this race are going to be really interesting, because I think Menendez, Booth, Garrett and Small are all going to be in the battle for the top 4 for the lead of this race. This could be really interesting. Scott Dodds, if you're here, mate, if you're tired, aren't you? If you're here, come join the commentary box. I'll let you in. I'll invite you right now while nothing's happening on the track. Oh, Ewan Small got out wide in turn 1 and turn 2. It's a very good job I didn't click it beforehand, but that'll cost him a lot of time, as Paul Kalainen is in the pit lane. We can't really see the gap between P1 and P2. There we go, 25 seconds. That's a big gap, it must be said, because I don't think Menendez has pitted yet. Neither has Jacob Booth. So that's a big gap he's gained over the guy behind him. But we'll invite Scott Dodds to the party. If he does want to join, of course, Paul Kalainen comes to the pit lane. I want to make sure nothing's happened on the track before I do. Bear with me, guys. I am inviting Scott Dodds to the party with the lovely Scotsman. If I can find him, of course. Scott Dodds. There he is. I don't think he's in the session. I don't think he's spectating, I think. But if he is here, I'll invite him to the party just in case. And Josh Evancho now putting Dari under pressure for P7. We haven't already mentioned him in the race. He did pick up that stop-go penalty, didn't he? Earlier on. I don't know if he's pitted just yet, because it doesn't really tell you if he's pitted or not. Do I go into drive and see that? Let's have a look. Nope, it doesn't really tell you, really, does it? Because it usually says 1, but it didn't say that even when the start of the Grand Prix. We're waiting for Menendez, Booth and Visser to pit. Jake Garrett is the next leader of this race, with Nathan Booth behind. Ewan Small has dropped backwards after making a mistake into turn 1 and turn 2, after breaking himself and going off the track. The gap is 1 second though, so Nathan Booth is keeping up with Jake Garrett, luckily for him, but he can't really find the pace to get even closer and try and go for that overtake. Josh Evancho setting up Dari there. Let's see where he can overtake the relentless driver, the Italian in the Ferrari. Let's see what he could do. As we make our way down into turn 1, will Josh Evancho be brave on the brakes, go down the inside? No, he can't do it unless Dari goes out wide, which he doesn't do. After that mistake, can Ewan Small find a bit of time? The gap is 3.3, but the gap will update in a few seconds time. The gap is 3.4, so Nathan Booth gains an extra 10th on Ewan Small. As we watch again, Josh Evancho trying to take on Dari. It's very difficult to overtake around here, but at the same time, it's easy to make a mistake. So if your rival in front of you makes a mistake, that's your big opportunity to go through. It was nice to commentate on the F1 2020 game Thursday. It should have been in Austria, but unfortunately I didn't have the game downloaded after it took a long time to download. Very frustrating indeed, but yeah, in fact, it just brought back a lot of memories from 4 years ago when I first commentated for CRL with Jonathan, of course. And look at Josh Evancho there, going up the inside to turn 10, but he can't do it, so he has to stay behind. The gap's gone down to 2.9, so the gap was 3.4, now it's 2.9 between Ewan and Nathan Booth. We are still waiting for the man in P1 to pit. Adrian Menendez, the Canadian driver who won in Valencia, still waiting for him to pit, and we'll see where he will join. He's still confident. He's taking these tyres a long way in this race. 27 laps he's taken those tyres so far. It is a short lap, of course, but full of high-speed corners. Jeroen Visser is in the pit lane. And Paul Kalainen, can he get ahead of Jeroen Visser? A drive-through penalty for 23. That is... who is it? It is Jeroen Visser. Jeroen Visser gets a drive-through penalty. I don't know what for. I think, oh yeah, it's obvious why I got it. Speeding in the pit lane. What's happened to Ewan Small? The gap is 6.3, so Ewan Small is starting to make mistakes after looking to try and gain a lot of time with Nathan Booth. Got up to 6.3, so is he having car problems? Is he losing his head? Is he struggling out there just a bit? I'm not quite sure. It's very crucial for him to try and get a podium because he was catching Adrian Menendez before he made his pit stop. So I think P3 could still be on for Ewan Small, but I think Adrian Menendez is his main target. Nathan Booth is too far away. Nathan Booth is trying to fight with Jake Garrett. The gap stabilising at 1 second. And Jake Garrett there is a back marker in front of us. And he gets out of the way. I really hope he can get out of the way for both of them because I don't want him to mess up this race. Hopefully Nathan Booth gets let by too, which he should. And yeah, good respect there for the back marker to let them go. That's the number 9 driver. That's Alacon in P14. So thankfully he let him go. Dari is in the pit lane, so Josh Evanjo has been relieved. Jacob Booth is back in P5, so he's been P5 actually the whole of this race, says Jacob Booth. After, thanks to Jared Dunley retiring, Jacob Booth has been in P5 actually throughout this whole race, so looking really good so far. After being challenged by the likes of Harry Palmer and Chamo, and Nathan Booth once again goes out wide, trying to find the limits of the treble at the same time, making mistakes. The gap is 6/10 then, so he brought the gap down as Nathan Booth. There is Ewan Small in the background, the gap is 5.6, so actually Ewan Small gained a lot of time on Nathan Booth too. It's like what happened at the Austrian Grand Prix when Nathan gained a lot of time. Once he got close, dropped backwards, then gained a lot of time again, dropped backwards. So it's like a back and forth situation there. But Ewan Small makes mistakes going down to turn number 1 and turn 2, outbreaking himself. If it wasn't for that contact, I would have loved him to be up there in the battle for P1, P2 and P3 and 4th. It would have been so fascinating and entertaining. The likes of Nathan Booth, Adrian Menendez and Jake Garrett, that would have been such a great battle to watch between the top 4. But unfortunately for him, contact was made with Michael Eckholt and I think it was, who was at the time? Somebody else made contact with him. Menendez, I think it was. I think Ewan Small got ahead of Menendez, but Menendez tapped him in the back and potentially gave him damage as well. But Nathan Booth then put in pressure, he lost the lead. Oh, who's that in the foreground? Is that Menendez? No, why would it be Menendez? Because he's way far ahead after not pitting. It must have been a battle marker in front of us who made that mistake, number 23. That is Jeroen Visser going off the circuit. The map is too small, even though I'm wearing glasses, I still can't read the map there. The numbers are a bit too small for my eyes. Hansen in P10, we really haven't spoken about him, but currently sat in P10 so far. He has got Marco Eckholt chasing him. Jeroen Visser unfortunately he's dropped down into P12 after that drive-through penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I've done that before, well I think we all done it before. It's such a silly feeling when you do that. A simple but easy mistake. Must have gone the throttle a bit too early or turned the pit lane limiter off a bit too early as well. But Nathan Booth there putting big pressure. The gap is 5/10 now between Nathan and Jake Garrett then. Jake Garrett, oh who spun? Who's that? It's Filterville spun. That's 23. That is Jeroen Visser who's gone for a spin. There he is, dropping it, and luckily did not rejoin in the middle of the road to take out Jake Garrett or Nathan Booth. My heart was pounding because I thought it was Jake Garrett that spun there. Oh, Jake Garrett going out wide again, and Nathan Booth is getting closer and closer. And here we are then. There's no way he's going to try and make a move on the top of the corkscrew. Yes, he is. Side by side. Here we are. Nathan going around the outside. But Jake Garrett has the outside of the next corner. Can he swoop around the outside? Yes, he can. And Jake Garrett remains in P2. Nathan tried it. But that was a very optimistic move there from Nathan Booth. Going around the outside, but went out wide. Compromised his next entry into turn 8. Therefore, Jake Garrett had the outside line again and got ahead. But guess what? The more these two battle, guess who's brought back into play? This man in P4, Ewan Small, is brought back into play. So he's hoping that these two continue battling. And let's see the gap. The gap is 3.5. Wow. So he's getting a lot of time. Reduce that one battle alone. So this is very crucial now. This is very important for Ewan Small to not make any mistakes now. He's looking at these two had a big battle because the time he lost, he gained back. after losing a bit of time in turn 1 and turn 2 after going out wide. But this is a very good battle indeed. Looks like Jake Garrett's weaknesses at the exit of turn 5 and turn 6. Looks like he struggles in that particular part of the track. Nathan's just able to get all over the back of him. Yeah, very ballsy move there from Nathan Booth indeed to try and go on the outside, but unfortunately did not pay off. But at least for him, he stuck it on the road. He didn't cut the corner like Valentino Rossi did when he tried to overtake Marc Marquez at the time. We all know Valentino Rossi was a very... Yeah, I don't want to say it actually because it'll be a lot of controversy, but it was a dirty rider indeed, was Rossi. Kicking people off the bikes as well. And Menezes, I think, has pitted. Menezes has just came out of the pit lane in P1. That's a big overcut, actually. Yeah, he has. Menezes rejoins in P1, and he's taking the lead of the race. Wow, the pace he had on the guys, the rest of them, despite being on older tyres, is in P1. Fantastic stuff indeed there for Menezes. Now, what's going to happen between P2 and P3 and P4? I never knew Menezes had such great pace on them older tyres. He's just rejoined in first place on a brand new set of tyres. Incredible indeed. And there's 15 minutes left to go. The gap is down to 13 seconds. So I don't think these two can catch him in 13 seconds. After their own battles, of course. But Menezes now takes the lead of the race and it becomes the new race leader after pitting and rejoining in front of Jake Garrett and Nathan Booth by a milestone as well. So not great news for those two who want to increase their championship aspirations. Adrian Menezes did miss the last race in Japan, but it didn't matter anyway because it was cancelled, so no points gained or lost for anybody. But a bit twitchy out there for Nathan Booth, so might have lost a bit of time there for Jake Garrett. But Human Small is closing in now the rate of knots for the battle for P2, P3 and P4. Adrian Menezes could be on course to win here at Laguna Seca. The green flag is shown, so somebody caused a momentary yellow flag down there. Juventus is in the pit lane, unfortunately again for the third time. So at the time of screens update, we cross the line and we'll see what the gap is between P3 and P4. 2.1. So UN Small is gaining a rare knots. Nathan tried to overtake Jake, but at the same time, we've got to watch out for the man in P4. There is 14 minutes left to go in this race. And we'll see how this battle unfold in the last few laps of this race. Who will take second, third, or fourth? Who out of these three will be outside the podium? One of these three. All of them want to get the podium, but only space for two, as Adrian Menezes in P1 leads. But looks like Jake Garrett's taking a second out of his advantage. The gap was 13.4, now it's 12.4. I've got a theory towards the end of the race, but I don't want to say it just in case I'm mistaken, so I'll leave it for the time being. But 13 minutes left to go. You think that Menezes should win, shouldn't lose too much time despite these two even battling. Where is the next place to strike for Nathan Booth on Jake Garrett? Jake Garrett could pick up a penalty towards the end of this race. You remember what he did to, I think it was Jared Dunley. He took him out at the top of the corkscrew in turn 7. Lost him lead of the race, but Jared Dunley is out of the race, so I'm not quite sure if Jared would have reported that or not, because see, sometimes people are not bothered about it. As we cross the line once again, then the gap is 11.7, so the gap was 13.4, now it's 11.7. I want to say my theory towards the end of the race, but looks like these two are catching Menezes at a rate of knots. So if this continues, taking out a second a lap, could they catch Menezes towards the end of this race? Now the gap is 1.9 between Nathan Booth and Ewan Small, so Booth is being hunted down by Small, as he himself is putting pressure on Jake Garrett. Do you know what? I think Nathan Booth could be, I don't know, those two are on a party with each other. They're always on a party with each other. The cone lot is usually in one big group, so I think they're talking to each other, saying, look, why don't we catch Menezes? Let's stop battling for the time being. If we don't catch Menezes in the last few laps of this Grand Prix, then we'll have a scrap for P2 and P3. When I last joined that party, Ewan Small wasn't there, so I'm not quite sure if Ewan Small is in the party. But he's definitely in this battle. The gap is 1.4 now between him and Nathan Booth. So this is feisty. The big three, Jake Garrett, Nathan Booth and Ewan Small, all together. This should get very feisty indeed. 11.4 now is the gap between Menendez and Garrett. So we'll find out what it is when he crosses the line. Because Menendez is losing time towards second place. There he is in P1 in the Honda. 11.1 now, so I don't think they'll catch Menendez towards the end of the Grand Prix, unless something major happens, of course. But how did Menendez manage to build that gap over 11-13 seconds on old tyres while these guys were on new tyres? Incredible. The overcut he did was fantastic indeed. Ewan Small in the background there, the gap's gone up to 1.8. It was 1.4, but has lost a lot of time somewhere in the first sector. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe making a few mistakes. Maybe he's still got that damage on the car, hence why he's making a few mistakes. But where is the best place to strike for Nathan Booth? He tried it in turn 7, the top of the corkscrew, but wasn't successful as Jake Guy was able to defend and go around the outside again. The gap is 10.5. Wow, so it was 11.1 in the first 2 seconds. That was 10.5. So he's definitely losing a lot of time. There's no way he can catch 10 seconds in 10 minutes, surely not, unless, of course, my theory is correct. But as we make our way now towards the final corner we go, this is the closest battle on the circuit, other than Michael Eckholt in P12 fighting with the same livery car as Hansen in P10, trying to get himself back in the top 10 after making contact. I think it was Ewan Small at the time. 9.5, wow, so loads of time is being taken out of Menendez. The timing thing is the same as the time left in the race, 9 seconds, 9 minutes, so I don't know, it could be nip and tuck towards the end of the race. But as long as these two don't battle hard, it's a difficult situation, because if Nathan's playing this game of trying to allow Jake out to breathe a bit and try and catch Menendez, I have no idea actually. But I think these two are talking to each other in the pod, saying, let's not fight now, let's catch Menendez because we're gaining them in quite a rate of knots, so let's do that. And if we don't catch Menendez in the last few minutes of this race, we'll fight each other. Because we know Nathan Booth will put Jake out under pressure by trying to go down the inside, but he's not. 8.6! They're gaining a rate of knots. Can I make a suggestion? I think he pitted. Oh, who's that? Was that Eckholt or Hansen? It was Hansen, I think. Oh, I wish these two get out of the way. They need to get out of the way right now. I don't want them to spoil this race. Hopefully they have the respect to get out of the way. Eckholt and Hansen, move out the way right now. And what's the gap? 8.5. But it will extend a bit because these two are in the way. Blue flags are applied, one of them gets out of the way, Eckholt. Next one is Hansen. So good respect there for Hansen and Eckholt. Sorry, that was Hansen who got out of the way because Eckholt just overtaken him. I think Hansen made a mistake at the exit of turn 9. The gap is 8.6, but we know that the bar markers are in the way. Eckholt needs to pull to the left, which he does, and gets out of the way very nicely. Now Eckholt and Hansen continue their scraps for P10 and P11. Ewan Small, the gap is back down to 1.8, so the gap keeps fluctuating, really, doesn't it? Because every time Ewan Small gains, he loses time after making a small mistake by outbraking himself. These small mistakes, he will look back and think, yeah, I should have been on the podium, but at the same time, these mistakes will cost you dearly. Nathan Booth there, still in P3, looks to try and take on Jake Guy, but I think these two could be working together to try and catch Menendez, because the gap's going down quite a lot actually between Menendez and Jake Guy. We'll find out what it is once they cross the line. Ewan Small is released as both McLarens battle once again, hence to try and take on Eckholt. Hansen, who probably made a mistake and almost spun out the corner. What's the gap? 8.2, so not a lot of time gained on this lap, probably due to the influence of the back markers there with Eckholt and Hansen. But I think now Jake Guy and Nathan Booth should fight, because I don't think they'll catch Menendez in P1. And Ewan Small, if he could also join in this battle, because he wants a podium, he should have been fighting for the race win actually, but he got taken out by Michael Eckholt and also somebody else I think at the time as well. I can't remember who it was now. But yeah, here we are then climbing the hill towards again as we make our way now towards turn 6. Nathan Booth there puts in big pressure on Jake Garrett. I love that corner, it's such a fast corner. It's very easy to get wrong as well because the dirt is right there on the outside. The gap is 7.7 now, but this won't be enough to try and hold down Menendez. They need to take out about 1.5 seconds a lap if they want to catch Menendez. There he is at P1 just further up the road. So I'm not sure if Menendez pitted for only fuel. I think he could be on the same tyres. I don't know where to check that graphic, but I'm thinking he could have stayed out there on his old tyres and just put fuel in the car to go to the end of this race. That's what I'm thinking. Hence why these guys are taking a lot of time out of him. 7.4 now is the gap between Jay Garrett and Menendez. So I think, yeah, the battle for P2 then is going to be on between these two. Who is going to finish second place? Will it be Garrett or will it be Booth? What about Ewan Small? Has he got something to say about this? All three of them deserve a podium, but unfortunately there's only space for two of them, as Menendez occupies first place. After everything that's happened in this race for Ewan Small, being back up there is incredible. He won't be happy with this result, knowing there's a lot more on the table. Here we are then out of turn 5, going into turn 6. They're going side by side, and let's see what happens going out to breaker zone. Jay Garrett breaks late to defence from Nathan. Nathan gets the switch back as we come out of the corner now. Nathan gets a better exit, a better run, and he should take P2, which he does. Nathan Booth is finally up into P2. Great racing between those two there. Goes a bit wide, and Jay Garrett might be on the back of him as we go towards turn 7 and turn 8, but Nathan Booth there still maintains the racing line. He goes back into P2 and stays there. Great racing indeed from all the drivers, and guess what? Ewan Small is in this battle now. Finally, it took a long time for him to get back in this battle after making mistakes every time he got close. But I don't think Nathan JB has the outright pace to try and catch Menendez because there's only about 4 minutes left to go. So I think Nathan's best choice now is P2. Looking to take the race win in the first stint after being gifted whilst Jared Dunley and Jay Garrett made contact, but at the same time he looked to win, of course. Obviously he had the pace. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, but he does deserve it because he's drove a brilliant race so far. He had great pace and he was there when it mattered. It's like when they say Pierre Gasly got lucky by winning the Monza because Lewis Hamilton picked up a 10-second time penalty. That's your own doing, of course. And obviously he had to defend from Carlos Sainz at the end and still lead the second half of the race after the red flag. Oh, Ewan Small there getting all squirrely out of the exit, trying to put Jake out under pressure. It's like when George Russell won at the Austrian Grand Prix, people could say he got lucky. Yes, he did get lucky, but at the same time, he was there to collect up the pieces after Verstappen and Norris made contact going into turn 3. Sometimes you need luck to win. But we'll see then what happens. Who will get the third place spot? Will it be Jake Garrett? Because Jake Garrett has been in the top 3 majority of this race, but it came with a bit of problems too, with a bit of mistakes. It's not all been flowing there for Jake Garrett. It's not been plain sailing for him. He could find himself off the podium despite running a good race because the man in P4 who made contact, I think, with Jared Dunley and also Michael Eckholt, he got put in a spin and he hit the wall massively as well into turn 5. He got dropped into P11, but has made an excellent comeback drive. He'll be wishing to get a podium. He wants to get a podium because he's worked so hard in this race trying to get back on the podium as Ewan Small after all the things he went through in this race. I don't think none of them were his fault actually, because he got pushed off once, then the second time made contact with, I think, Michael Eckholt. Eckholt and Hansen are still fighting down there, but obviously when I watched the battle for P3 and 4, so apologies for Hansen and Eckholt. That would have been a good battle to watch for P10. But Ewan Small, with 2 minutes left to go, the pressure is intense between the two. One wants the podium, and one is trying to defend and try and stay on the podium. They'll do everything they can to try and stay on the podium. We've seen a battle between these two before, but it ended in tears because Jake Garrett got spun by Ewan Small at the French GP. And also they had a battle at the Indianapolis Grand Prix, but Jake Garrett pulled away from Ewan Small too. We go towards the top of the corkscrew once again. Nathan's already catching Menendez. Menendez has got this in the bag, of course. He's on course to win his second race this season after taking the victory in Valencia. And guess what? Last time he won in Valencia, Nathan was second place again. So we could see the same top 2 from Valencia. And that's the race where Ewan Small also spun, not by himself, because somebody hit him at the rear. So when Menendez wins, Ewan Small has problems. He finished in 7th in Valencia after being taken out, but here, taken out twice in this race. He's in P4, looking to take on Jake Garrett. There is 1 minute left in this session, so extra lap will be added to this race, and 2 laps left to see who will get the podium. Will it be Jake Garrett or will it be Ewan Small? Where is the best place to strike? They've been in these situations before. The experienced drivers are Garrett and Small. F1, they both raced in F1 in high divisions like PSGL, etc. So they know what it's like to defend and attack to get a podium, or stay on the podium, of course. The tyres will be screaming, the concentration will be high, the drivers will probably be tired at the same time. Nathan's brought the gap down to 5.4, but we know he can't catch Menendez. The battle for P6, look at these three back together after the first stint they were together, but Paul Kalainen has done a fantastic job so far in this race. He did struggle in that last few races, had poor results, but here we are coming towards turn 8 we go, turn 9 sorry, as we make our way now towards turn 10. We've seen some people make mistakes here by hitting the curve a bit too hard and bounced off into the gravel. Ewan Small has dropped back from Jake Garrett because Jake Garrett's now close towards the back of Nathan JB. So Nathan JB's got to watch out now for Jake Garrett in P2. It's the last lap of this race. We crossed the line for one more lap, and the gap's being brought down constantly, but not enough laps for Nathan JB because the gap was 30.5 when Menendez came out of the pit lane, but it's 4.8, and I can't wait to interview Menendez because I want to hear what he says when the race has ended. If he does join the podium interviews, of course, because I don't think I remember interviewing him back in Valencia. I don't know if I've interviewed him, anybody at all, to be honest with you, because I don't remember hearing Nathan's voice. But yeah, this is the time, not the time or place to make any mistakes anymore, because it's the final lap of the race. You can't afford any sort of silly mistake by running out wide or hits the curbs too much. I think Jake Garrett will maintain P3. Ewan Small will be visibly disappointed with his result, even though it's a great comeback and recovery drive for him. The only chance for him now to get back on the podium if Jake Garrett or Nathan Booth makes a mistake, but that won't happen unless these two make contact, of course, because you can see Jake Garrett is right at the back of the McLaren driver, the Lamborghini versus the McLaren, and we'll see if Jake Garrett can do any sort of last lap attempt to try and overtake him. He's got to be in the final corner, surely. Can he get the run out of turn 10 before we head into turn 11? Is this a last lap move? Last corner move? Is it? We're about to find out. No, it can't. So here is Menendez then. You can see the three in the background, and here's Menendez to win here in Laguna Seca for the second time this season. Adrian Menendez wins again. Fantastic drive. Nathan Booth finishes second place ahead of Jake Garrett, and Ewan Small will come home to finish in P4. And finally, for the first time this season, Jacob Booth will pick up his first points of the season. Finally, he should have done it in Japan, but the servers crashed. He was in P4 at the time, but here his confidence will be boosted high because of the results he picked up today. P5 is a fantastic result for him. Harry Palmer, who had a great run of podiums. The battle for P6 is not over. Look at Chamo, look at Paul Kalainen, look at Palmer, all in the battle for P5, P6 and P7. What's going to happen here? Because Christian Chamo and Palmer have been glued together throughout the whole race, trying to fight and defend from each other, but I think Christian Chamo is too far behind to make a move on Harry Palmer. There's Paul Kalainen in the background. Let's see what happens going into the final corner. Nothing, as we remain in formation. Palmer, Chamo and Paul Kalainen P6, 7th and 8th, as Joshua Banjo will finish in P9. But what a race. I enjoyed that one a lot. Better, I think it's one of the best races of the season so far. Thoroughly enjoyed it. As we get the top three in the podium interviews. What is Menendez's PSN name? I forgot. I should have clicked on it, but I had the chance. Get RUX.
Green light, show them what you got.
I have invited the top three in the party. I did spell Phoenix's name wrong, so that's hence why I can't find him. So the top three have been invited whilst I leave the session, and we can hear what the drivers have to say. I don't know if Menendez will join because he hasn't joined me back in Valencia. I don't know if he knows there's a podium interviews going on. I really hope those guys join. If they don't, it'd be better for me because I go to bed early. So for my sake, hopefully they don't join. Nathan JB Phoenix has joined the party. We're waiting for Adrian to do so. I don't know if he joins or not. In fact, we'll start for P3 upwards. If he joins, he joins. So, Jake, a bit of a disappointing race there, mate. But you did start in P5 after dismal qualifying for you in terms of your standards. But P5 for you, P2 for you, P3, sorry, for you. And how do you feel for this race? Mixed emotions because you did make contact with, I think, Jared Dunley at the time at the top of the corkscrew. You had to let Nathan through, and you had to let him through as well. And towards the end of the race, you were under massive pressure from you and Small. So a potential podium could have been lost for you, but you managed to hold on in the end. How do you feel about this race? Oh, hold on. My party audio is a bit turned down, so let me get that adjusted.
Is everything alright now?
Yeah, continue, Nathan.
What?
Continue, sorry.
Alright, yeah, so I didn't do as much practice into this race. So it was a bit disappointing. Obviously, I didn't have the pace, but it was good enough for P5. And then on the first lap, Ewan and like everyone kind of just went off around that left-hander before the corkscrew, and I kind of just went past. So it was all right, but then the pit stop came and I got past Nathan. But I boxed, I would say, probably 2 laps too early. My tyres were gone towards the end. But yeah, I did hit Dunley. It was an accident, and so I let him past. So hopefully no penalties there, or no hard feelings anyway. But yeah, towards the end, had no tyres left. Nathan did an amazing overtake, to be fair. Done me in. And then, but in the end, it was P3. It was dead close towards the end. Me, Nathan, and Ewan. But I know Ewan had like 11 seconds of damage. So if he didn't have that damage, it's a what if. So, but yeah, hopefully next week it's domination again. And we're definitely putting more practice into that one, that's for sure. But until then, yeah, it was alright, to be fair. Oh, apparently fucking, what's his name? What's his name now? Guy that won.
Menendez.
He might be getting a penalty. Yeah, he might be getting a penalty.
For taking out you and Small.
For an incident we had with you, and yeah. So, could be a P2 in the cards, but we'll see.
Yeah, apologies about the language on the stream, but
Oh, sorry.
But Jake, you once Menendez came out of the pit lane, you were gaining on him. No, it's you and Nathan at the same time. So did you and Nathan just settle down a bit and try to close on Menendez, thinking there's a chance to win the race? But when you thought it wasn't possible, is that when you two decided to battle? Did you have a chat about it at the party?
Well, no, he didn't say a word, Nathan, for about half an hour. He was proper concentrating. But no, what happened was when Nathan came out the pits, I had about 2-second gap, and we knew Menendez wasn't going to box for tyres, so he had about 20-ish seconds on us. The grip in the later stage of the race wasn't the best. I think it got a bit worse. Therefore, the times weren't as quick. But we had a few lapped cars, and I made a mistake, causing Nathan to catch up. It was about 2 seconds when I came out the pits. It was about that for about 5 minutes, and then I made a mistake, and then the lap cars kind of brought us closer. And then after that, he was just sat right behind me, basically, and whilst Ewan was catching as well. And then it was inevitable that we were going to battle. We did end up catching Menendez, but in the end, the stop for fuel, just fuel only, paid off in this race again. The tyre wear on that Honda's quite good, so.
So you didn't have to make a pit stop for tyres, you just pitted for fuel, is that correct?
Yeah, this season there's no mandatory tyre change, so you can just box for fuel, which is just literally like a few seconds. Therefore, when you come out of the pits, you can get up to a 20-second advantage, which in this situation helped Menendez. So.
Well, thank you for that, because can the tyres generally go towards the end of the race without having to make a pit stop for changing tyres then? Because I didn't know that. I thought the tyres were like bad, but it turns out they're quite good.
It can. It just depends. Sometimes it's quicker to box, but it depends on the track because it's such a short track. And some cars have really good tyre wear. They can do the full hour, and it would be quicker than boxing for tyres, for example. But you saw how close it was towards the end for not boxing tyres and boxing for tyres.
Yeah.
Grip was a lot better. So if you made a mistake and you didn't box for tyres, and it's pretty much game over. So it's a risky move, but if you pull it off, then it's good.
And I think you gain points on your championship contender of, I think it is Michael Eckholt. So that might put you into P3.
Is it?
I'm not quite sure. Let me have a look at the standards because I'm not quite sure if I'm mixing up with the wrong person. Because I know you're P4 in the championship. You should gain points on Michael Eckholt and probably be in third place after your internet connection issues back in Valencia and also the French GP where you found on the order.
Yeah.
Imola don't count and Japan don't count due to server glitches at the time. But do you feel confident you could try and catch Ewan Small, bring the championship gap down? Because in Japan, you were looking really strong here too. And today, you did finish ahead of him, although he did get in a few incidents himself. So does this boost your confidence of going into Watkins Glen onwards?
Well, is Watkins Glen next?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel quite comfortable on that track. So, I mean, he's not doing the last 3 races because he's going on holiday, I think, or something like that. So. That's a definite chance to gain some points. I think my battle is really against whoever's P2 and 3
Harry
at the
Palmer,
minute. Eckholt and Harry, yeah. Harry at the minute, he's good, but he's not consistent in the races. Like today, he finished, I think it was like P10 or something like that. So I know I'll get you in the end. I just need to keep it consistent. I kind of brought it back from the start of the season. After having a P13, I think it was, or something like that after Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
So I should have it in the bag if I don't mess up, which is more than likely going to happen, knowing me.
Yeah, you had your own problems for the first part of the season, but luckily for you, Imola didn't count, so you didn't lose a lot of points there either. But and Japan, it went the other way around actually, because in Japan you should have gained more points, but the race got cancelled.
Yeah.
So in both cancelled races, you didn't lose anything, you didn't gain anything at the same time. So it equals it out. But yeah, good luck to you, and congratulations on P3 today, potentially P2 because of the Menendez incident with Ewan Small. So should have invited you into the podium interviews just in case, but I really got tired to talk to 2 people anyway. So thank you for Menendez not joining, but it would have been nice to talk to him because he is the race winner after all. But yeah, well done today, Jay Garrett, and congratulations on P3. Nathan Booth, on to you, mate. It's your second podium of the season. You scored your first podium back at the Valencia Grand Prix, behind Adrian Menendez again. So that's twice you've done that with him. But yeah, you had a very good race indeed because you saw what happened in front of you with Jared Dunley and Jay Garrett. They both made contact, and with Jared spinning out, you went through. With Jay Garrett giving the place back, you went through. So that's 2 places gained there, and you had a really good pace today as well because despite coming out behind him by 2 seconds, he made a mistake. He said. And you gained on him again. And yeah, you fought for P2 in the end, so it was a good day for you overall.
Yeah, what's the question?
I just wanted you to talk to the race.
I'm just messing with you.
Bloody hell.
I'm just messing with you. No, it was a good race. I was surprised, to be fair. Because I had a race here on Tuesday and it was so bad. I didn't even practice today. Literally just jumped in the server, did like half an hour in the practice server before the race. And yeah, I think I could have won that race if I didn't make a mistake on my in lap. I hit the sausage curb and lost 4 seconds. and I was stuck behind Jake for about 6-7 laps. No, probably more than that actually. It's probably like 8 laps. I was stuck behind him, and I couldn't go any quicker. So I think I could have got Meneses at the end if I came out ahead. But it is what it is. I'll take P2 and the fastest lap.
Yeah, you did get the fast lap. I did talk about it as well. So, did you think there was a slight chance of catching Menezes towards the end, because the cap kept going down and down after every single lap? So, did you think there was a slight chance?
No, not like at the beginning. Yeah, even like when he pitted and came out, he was so far ahead. But I thought, we'd catch him. But then at that point, I was stuck behind Jake, and we weren't catching him quick enough, and I was getting stuck behind Jake. So I knew from then on, like, if I don't get past him now, it's not gonna happen. So when I overtook Jake, I just took it easy. I didn't really push. I didn't want to like spin or anything.
And also, when you was in P3 at the time, stuck behind Jake, you and Small was gaining on you a rare not. So were you worried about you and Small, because essentially you had to attack and watch out for you and Small at the end?
There was only like one moment when I saw he was like quite close behind that I was a bit worried. But then I don't know. I didn't really think about it, because then soon after he made a mistake and then dropped back. So no, not really. I was too focused on like trying to get past Jake. Well, obviously I was concentrating, but I always mute my mic throughout the race. Just what I do.
Yeah, I know you do. I've been in races with you that you beat your bike, so yeah, I know that you stay silent throughout of it. But it's your second podium this season as well. So are you expecting more? Do you think you can be involved in this championship fight?
Don't think so. I don't know. Like, I've been quite far off it so far. Today was like the first time I was kind of up there again, compared like last season. So I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm a bit too far away from Jake, or I don't know who's. I know Ewan's leading, but obviously he's missing the last 3, so that like basically rules him out of the championship. So I guess it's between Meneses, Jake, Eckholt, and me, I guess. Maybe Harry.
Yeah, Adrian's 8 points in front of you, but he'll gain more due to the race win. But yeah, hopefully you get your first win of the season, because you looked rather strong as well, especially in Austria too. But that pitting onto brand new set of wet tyres really did cost you as well. Should have been on your third podium, but yeah, it's your second. So
yeah, don't remind me of that one. That one was painful. That one had a good race, and I just messed the strategy big time. That was frustrating.
Well, thank you very much,
You
Nathan.
boxed. That was interesting. So I was like, I'm not boxing in Austria, and then
I was saying I wasn't gonna pit for tyres, and then I did, and everyone else didn't.
yeah. Well, Nathan came out the box. He boxed the lap before you did and said, "These new tyres feel great."
Who said that?
Ewan.
No, I can't remember that.
You probably didn't hear it, but he came out the pits a lap before you boxed and said, "Oh, these new tyres feel great."
I don't know if I heard that, but I was committed to always using tyres because I was too like.
Would have been a good position. You were keeping up with me, so.
I remember that. I remember I was off. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That race doesn't matter. What matters is today, and I beat you, Jake. So.
No, just 3
tenths. And you practiced as well. You sweated.
I did not. I did about 2 hours minimum, maximum. Sorry.
2 hours minimum.
Maximum. 2 hours maximum. Next week's gonna be a different story, though.
Yeah, you keep sweating, mate. I'll just do what I normally do and turn up during the hour practice. Okay.
You do that, big man.
Well, hopefully you two stop. Thankfully you stop, because I want to end the stream. But yeah, I've ordered today Nathan Booth and Jake Garrett, sorry, for Peter and
Jacob.
And we'll see you all for Watkins Glen next Sunday at 8 PM.
Watkins.
Yeah, I said that.
Did Watkin?
Yeah, I know it's Watkins. Oh, I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. But we'll see you all. We'll see you all for round 6 at the next Grand Prix on Sunday at 8 PM. And join us back also for the F1 2020 on Thursday at 8 PM with ILT Bompio joining alongside me after a great race at Vietnam and Austria. And see you all next week on Thursday and Sunday. See you.